Hello everybody. This video is about finding the domain and range of a relation and determining whether a relation is a function or not. So for the first question, we're asked to find the domain and the range and determine if it's a function. So that's three things that we have to find. So first, let's find the domain. So the domain is your input value or your x value. And we know that when we're looking at coordinates, our x values are all the first values. So in writing our domain, I'll just write D for domain, colon, and then put in my numbers from least to greatest. So my smallest number is 0, then 1, then 2, oops, that was ugly, then 2, then 3. So that's my domain. My range would be the second numbers in each one. So my range would be 2, 3, and 6. Now, I know I have 4 coordinates, but I only have 3 in my range, and that's because I don't have to repeat, okay? Yes, 6 was mentioned twice, but I only have to mention it once, okay? So you don't want to repeat. Now, for the last thing that we want to find is to find out whether it is a function. So, in determining whether it's a function or not, you want to pay attention to your domain, okay? So this is what you want to look at right here is your domain. And you want to see if it repeats. And if you look at it, you see that we don't have any repeats if you look at your coordinates. The 2 is with the 3 is with the 6, the 1 is with the 6, and the 0 is with the 2. So you don't have any duplication there. So, is it a function? Yes. Oops. Yes, it is a function. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So for this one, we've been given a mapping, and we want to find the domain and the range and find if it's a function also. So for the domain, again, you're looking at your x's. So your domain would be -2, 3, 4, and 10. Your range would be -1, 0, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so is it a function? No, it is not, because if you look at your domain over here, you'll see that the 4 is connected to 3 other y's. Alright, so in other words, for functions, sometimes we say, the x's can't repeat. In mapping, you're not going to see it necessarily repeat. You're just going to see that the x has a relationship with 3 y's, which is the problem. The y's can connect to however many x's they want to, but the x's cannot connect to however many y's they want. So because you have one x value that has several relationships, this is not a function. So no, this is not a function. And another hint that I'll tell you is if you list out your domain and if you list out your range and you see that you have less in your domain than in your range, you know it's not going to be a function. So that's another way to determine. Alright. So this next one is dealing with a table, and we still have the same questions to ask. So let's look over at our x's. That's our domain. So domain is, let's put it in order, -1, oops, I messed up, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And for your range, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is a function because every x value has a different y value. Okay? You can't have an x value that has 2 different y values, so yes. Last one we're going to deal with is dealing with a graph. So this is what we call a discrete graph because it's just points that don't touch each other. They're discontinuous. So the domain, you want to look at the x coordinate. So I'm going to start with the one furthest to the left. So for this one, the x value is negative 2.5. For the next one, the x value is negative 1.5. For the next one, the x value is negative 0.5. This one, it's positive 0.5. And for the last one, it's 1.5. So that's our domain. We have negative 2.5, negative 1.5, 0.5, well, negative 0.5, 0.5, and 1.5. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our range. And that's the y values. So for this first one, the y value is positive 1. For the next one, the y value is 1.5. So it's very important to look at the scale. The next one is 2. The next y value is 2.5. And the last y value is 3. So is it a function? Yes, because every x value just has one y value. Okay, you don't have any x's that have two different y values. So yes, this is a function. And we're done.